Australia's medicines regulator has confirmed 2 new deaths linked to the AstraZeneca vaccine. Our political reporter Trudy McIntosh has some more details on this developing story. Trudy, what do we know?
Ash, 2 new confirmed deaths related to the first dose of AstraZeneca in the last week. This has been the confirmation from the Therapeutic Goods Administration in their weekly safety update. This brings the total number of deaths linked to AstraZeneca in this country to 6. Now, that is out of 6.1 million doses that have been administered. One of them, a 44-year-old man from Tasmania, the other, a 48-year-old woman from Victoria. In the statement, the TGA extending its condolences to the families. It's also worth pointing to the number of clotting cases that the TGA has now updated as a part of this safety update. They have reported 4 new clotting cases linked to AstraZeneca in the last week. One of them confirmed, the other 3 deemed to be probable. That brings the total number of blood clotting cases, or TTS as it's referred to 87 in Australia out of those 6.1 million doses. Ash, expect to see the Prime Minister addressing this issue when we hear from him at the Lodge at 1:30.
Yeah, because we have seen, haven't we, Trudy, that the politics surrounding that jab in particular, the AstraZeneca, is heating up too. We heard Scott Morrison arguing that the changing medical advice on AstraZeneca has really fuelled the vaccine hesitancy we're continuing to see right across the country.
Yeah, Scott Morrison, there's no doubt, has been frustrated with the advice from the TGA, which is the immunisation advisory body that had lifted the age recommendation for AstraZeneca to people over the age of 60. Scott Morrison says that that is based on a risk-benefit analysis, the risk of catching COVID versus the rare chance of getting this TTS, blood clotting syndrome. Scott Morrison upping the ante again this morning, saying that a TGA has essentially fuelled vaccine hesitancy, but there's been pushback from the states who believe they shouldn't be questioning the medical body so publicly.
When COVID cases are rising, that means people have a greater likelihood of catching COVID, particularly older people, then the balance of risk changes. And I've just simply said, balance of risk is changing, guys. So how is that impacting on your advice? And what I'd probably more say is the impact of this advice over time has been for people to have some hesitancy.
I saw the Prime Minister's comments. They did strike me as unusual, and I just thought it was an unnecessary shot at professionals doing their job. If there's a problem, work through it with them. Don't blame them for doing their job.
Now, a lot has also been made in the last 24 hours of the Prime Minister's refusal to say sorry for any aspect of the vaccine rollout. Enter Darren Chester. He's a former Cabinet Minister dumped by Barnaby Joyce. He wasn't holding back with a pretty pointed Facebook statement earlier in the day. He's apologised 5 times for the vaccine rollout. I'll read out part of the statement. It said, quote, "I'm sorry the coronavirus vaccine rollout has experienced so many delays and difficulties. I'm sorry it's taken longer than people expected. And I'm sorry that some people have lost confidence in our government and our world-class health system as a result. I was a member of the federal cabinet when decisions were made to pre-order vaccines and develop capacity to manufacture in Australia, and I supported those decisions." So, Ash, certainly a lot of questions for the Prime Minister today at this press conference. Will we see a change of heart on saying the word sorry, or will this be brushed aside again? He did acknowledge yesterday that there have been challenges, but they're trying to work to overcome them.